Good evening, everyone, and you're welcome back to the channel. It's beautiful to have you back with us. We are continuing our discourse on the nervous system. And like I said before in the former video, I said there's the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Today, we're going to be continuing with the peripheral nervous and with the central nervous system. Now, we know that the central nervous system has the brain and the spinal cord. Those are the two components of the central nervous system. So today, we'll be focusing on the brain. What does the brain look like? Now, the brain is the center of activity and coordination. The brain coordinates every function within the body. They all run through the brain, and the brain is the center of all this coordination, and the brain is located in the skull, in our heads. Now, this brain is divided into many parts. There are about 4 parts that the brain is divided into. The brain is divided into the cerebrum. We have the cerebrum, the cerebellum, then we have the encephalon and the brainstem. Cerebrum, cerebellum, encephalon, and the brainstem. Now we'll look at all these 4 components of the brain and discuss them one by one and try and know 1 or 2 things about these components. Now the first one is the cerebrum. The cerebrum is the center of coordination, of cognition, sorry. So intelligence, thinking, thought, memory, all of that is stored in the cerebrum. And the cerebrum is very important. The frontal part of the cerebrum, this place where we call our foreheads, is what we refer to as the cerebral cortex. So it's the center of different activities, and it is very important. Now in the cerebrum is also divided into 2 hemispheres. We have the left and the right hemispheres of the cerebrum. So the cerebrum is very important. Now when you leave the cerebrum, you have what we refer to as the cerebellum. Cerebellum is at the back of the brain, and the cerebellum is involved in coordinating a lot of activities, especially activities that are voluntary, like sleep pattern, like breathing, like blood pressure, like heart rate. Many of these things are coordinated. Then posture and balance. A lot of these things are coordinated by the cerebellum, and this is important. Now, after the cerebellum, we also have the component of the brain that we call the brainstem. Now, this brainstem is that part of the brain that attaches the brain itself to the spinal cord. So that's the part that's called the brainstem, and the brainstem is quite important. The brainstem is made up of different components. You have the pons varoli, the pons. You have the midbrain, and you have the medulla oblongata. The pons, the midbrain, and the medulla oblongata. These are all the components of the brainstem. Now, apart from the brainstem, the brainstem is also involved in many other things such as breathing, heart rate, all these like circadian rhythm or sleep rhythm. All these things are being coordinated in the brainstem, and this is important to know. Now, lastly, we have the encephalon. Some may call it encephalon or encephalon. Now, this is the 4th part of the brain, and this part too is also divided. There are 2 major components in this part. There's the thalamus and the hypothalamus. These are the 2 major components of the encephalon, and they have their own functions too. They help to control sensory and motor signals that come both to and from the brain are controlled in this center. So this is an overview of what the brain is, or what the structure of the brain. Consequently, we would also do other videos where we'll talk about the function of the brain health, and then diseases of the nervous system. We'll also discuss about the peripheral nervous system in our consequent videos. Please remember to like our content, share our content, and then have a wonderful day. Thank you.